What's something a teacher did that made students lose respect instantly? My senior year, we had this AP English teacher, Mrs. Keller, who everyone thought was a genius. She'd brag about her PhD and how she'd written the book on teaching literature. She meant that literally. She'd self-published this thick textbook and made every student in her class buy it for $40. No used copies allowed. She claimed it was revolutionary and 10 years ahead of any other material out there. At first, I thought she was just a little full of herself, but mostly harmless. She always acted like she was above the school system. Whenever other teachers passed her in the hall, she'd give them this smug little smile, like she knew something they didn't. Most students still respected her, though, probably because they believed she could open doors for them. She always reminded us that her letters of recommendation carried serious weight. "I get students into the Ivy League every year," she'd say. "Don't waste my time unless you're aiming high." Then test season rolled around, and that's when things started to feel wrong. She began offering these private prep sessions after school, but only for a select group of students. It wasn't based on grades or effort. The invites were quietly extended to students whose parents were on the school board, or the ones who gave her luxury chocolates and gift cards during holidays. Everyone else, we were told to study independently and stick to the book. My friend Carlos was suspicious and decided to sneak into one of the sessions, pretending he was returning a borrowed novel. Later at lunch, he sat down across from me and looked genuinely rattled. "Dude," he whispered, "she's giving them the actual AP questions." I thought he was messing with me until he showed me his phone. He'd taken photos of the handouts she passed out. The questions weren't just similar. They were exact matches from previously released exams, right down to the punctuation, and some weren't even publicly available yet. We didn't know what to do. Mrs. Keller was powerful. Everyone knew she could blacklist you if she wanted to. She even joked once that she had the power to tank college dreams. But after the scores came out, it was undeniable. Every single one of her hand-picked students scored a perfect 5. And meanwhile, kids who were always at the top of the class, people who never got anything below an A, ended up with 3s. Carlos and I talked it over for days before sending an anonymous email to the college board. We attached all the photos and wrote everything down. Honestly, we didn't think anything would happen, but 2 weeks later, everything blew up. A pair of investigators in suits walked into our school without warning. They went straight into Mrs. Keller's room during second period and shut the door behind them. Rumors spread instantly. No one could focus the rest of the day. Turns out, they found 5 full years' worth of stolen AP exams in her desk. Some were photocopies, others were actual test booklets. She'd been hoarding them and using them to spoon-feed answers to her favorites. It didn't stop there. They also looked into that textbook she made us buy. Turned out, it was just copy-pasted material from multiple test prep companies. Whole chapters were plagiarized. Nothing was her original work. The school tried to keep it quiet at first, but when the college board officially invalidated everyone's scores, the story got out, and it got ugly. 3 students lost scholarships because of it. Didn't matter that they weren't involved. Their scores were wiped. Gone. Last I heard, Mrs. Keller's working for some shady for-profit online school with no accreditation. She disappeared from the district like she was never there. But what she left behind, broken trust, damaged futures that didn't just vanish.